Today, we will take a look at the key points were discussed by the Palantir management in its third quarter conference call. First, the management started the call, noting Palantir achieved profitability for the fourth consecutive quarters. Moving on to business updates regarding deals with clients, in Q3, Palantir closed 80 deals of $1 million across 30 industries, 29 deals of $5 million across 16 industries, and 12 deals of $10 million across 11 industries. Not only were there more deals closed this quarter, but also there was an acceleration of larger deals and shorter times to conversion and expansion. For example, a significant multi-year deal in excess of $40 million with one of the largest home construction companies in the US was initiated and converted all within the third quarter. Second, in the US segment, commercial business experienced robust growth with a 33% year-over-year increase. Excluding strategic commercial contracts, the growth was even more impressive, at 52% year-over-year and 19% sequentially. 75% of the quarter-over-quarter growth came from customers who started with Palantir this year, so the existing customers are spending more money on Palantir services. Commercial customer count rose by 12% quarter-over-quarter and is now 10x the number 3 years ago. Commercial TCV, or total contract value, closed at $252 million, marking a 55% year-over-year increase. Regarding AIP, or Artificial Intelligent Platform Bootcamps, Palantir's growth can be attributed in part to the way Palantir partners with and delivers value to its customers. In Q2, Palantir reoriented its go-to-market approach around AIP Bootcamps, which are workshops where customers tackle immediate issues and learn to implement AI into their specific operating environments in only a matter of days. Meanwhile, traditional pilots usually take 1 to 3 months to deliver real workflow. Palantir is on track to host bootcamps for over 140 organizations by the end of November, with nearly half of them scheduled for this month alone, surpassing the number of U.S. commercial pilots conducted in the entire previous year. So things are definitely accelerating at Palantir. This new go-to-market approach has led to the following benefits. A. First, it increased momentum and engagement from IT attendees. Because the development of advanced reference architecture for generative AI and the release of Foundry eliminates data duplication and addresses customers' primary objection. B. Second benefit is shortening the time to provide tangible value for customers. Early signs from the bootcamp suggest significant improvements in unit economics from initial contact to customer conversion. Evidently, bootcamp attendees often express that they accomplished in days what was previously impossible with other AI technologies, or that would have taken months. For example, one participant achieved more in 1 day with AIP than a top 3 hyperscaler accomplished in the previous 4 months. Another attendee mentioned building 10 times faster with 3 times fewer resources. C. And the third benefit of bootcamps is a wider range of partnering organizations end up using AIP for various workflows. The number of AIP users nearly tripled in the last quarter, and almost 300 distinct organizations have adopted AIP in just 5 months since its launch. For example, one healthcare partners like Tampa General use it for dynamic scheduling. 2 Aramark uses it for more efficient procurement, creating custom proactive negotiation strategies. 3 Panasonic uses it to scale its workforce and accelerate the training of new engineers. 4 Eaton uses it to enhance the deployment of fixes by identifying available materials across different plants and assembly patterns. 5 And Carrefour Brazil is improving the fill rate of online grocery orders with higher accuracy. Next, the management also talked about how Palantir remains committed to its foundation of counterterrorism. Due to the rising geopolitical tensions that we hear about through news every day now, Palantir expects a re-acceleration of their U.S. government business beyond the current 10% year-over-year growth. For example, recently, the U.S. Army awarded Palantir a new contract worth up to $250 million over 3 years to provide additional capabilities in support of comms, armed services, intelligence, and special forces, focusing on testing, utilizing, and scaling AI and ML capabilities. On a closing note, management emphasized their objectives and ambitions. AIP and U.S. commercial operations are not just disrupting the market, but they are setting a standard that is likely unattainable for other software companies. The unique strength of these operations lies in Palantir's deep understanding of LLMs and their relative importance, coupled with decades of frontline experience in military operations, precision, and governance. In contrast, other software companies lack the essential experience and expertise required. They prioritize creating thin technology misaligned with the enterprise customers and rely on strong sales teams. As a result, Palantir management believes the alignment of Palantir with its clients and society is expected to yield significant dividends in many years to come. That was it for the management announcement. And now we will move on to the financial performance. Let's start with some operating drivers. On a TTM basis, the total customer count was 453, up 34% year over year. And among this, the commercial customer count was 330, up 45 from 12 months ago. And the average TTM revenue per Palantir's top 20 customers was $54 million, up 13% year over year. Moving on to revenue, Palantir breaks down revenue in two ways, by customer type and by geography. First, by segment. Revenue from governments was $307 million, up 12% year over year. And commercial revenue was $250 million, up 23% year over year. Looking at this revenue by geography, 62% came from the US, and this increased 16% year over year. $64 million were from the UK, which is up 8% year over year. And the rest of world revenue was $148 million, up 22% year over year. Despite the revenue increase, most operating costs decreased. For example, sales and marketing expenses decreased 4% year over year, and G&A expenses decreased 14% year over year. Only the R&D expenses increased 5% to $105 million this quarter. As a result, Palantir achieved the third consecutive quarters of profitability and generated $40 million of operating income this quarter. This is definitely a positive sign, but the absolute amount is still small, so we need to see continued revenue growth and operating leverage playing out in near future to justify valuation. The cash flow also showed strength of the business. Net cash from operations was $411 million, up from $145 million a year ago. CapEx was only $10 million, which is a dramatic decrease from $35 million last year. Net cash from financing was $167 million, up $72 million a year ago. So at the end of this quarter, Palantir was sitting on about $2.6 billion of cash, up slightly from $2.4 billion last year. Now, let's see what was discussed in the Q&A section of the call. Regarding the question on plans to support Asian allied partners, the management responded that there are plans to support allies in Asia. Palantir has learned valuable lessons from situations in Israel and Ukraine, like emphasizing the importance of prepositioning data, software, and hardware in advance of critical events. And so these lessons will continue to improve Palantir's ability to support Western allies all over the world. Regarding the second question on observations from the AI Bootcamps, the management responded that the top 3 observations from Bootcamps for enterprises to launch AI-enabled decision management systems are: first, the importance of using AI tools in conjunction with language models. Second, emphasizing the need to align AI systems with the semantics of the business and to serialize these semantics into the models. And third, incorporating real-time expert feedback and thinking of feedback as a data type to create adaptive models for efficient and scalable operations. Some additional comments were, the efficient scaling of operations is evident, with bootcamps taking significantly less time thanks to the lowering of barriers for customers to implement AI systems. Also, customer network effects are observed, with users adopting AI products in different contexts and new companies, and returning customers benefiting from product advancements. Then there were follow-up questions regarding the bootcamp. This was important, because bootcamp seems to be the key driver of how Palantir sells its products faster, and customers using and relying more on Palantir products. So, regarding effective bootcamps and AIP and Palantir's objectives, the management responded, the bootcamp program has a significant impact on internal operations and customer engagement. It goes beyond training and helps customers develop production-ready use cases, enabling them to continue and compound their AI implementation. It affects the way partners engage, as they can also run bootcamps and drive use case growth. The emphasis on bootcamps is profound and positively affects the financials and operating reality of the business. The velocity and scale of bootcamps are rapidly increasing, with a significant number happening each month, exceeding the number of commercial pilots conducted in the previous year. Palantir's go-to-market motion in the US commercial sector has become highly efficient, and it is 10x more efficient than before. So overall, the use of LLMs and bootcamp definitely seem to be accelerating Palantir's growth in the commercial space, where the company struggled to grow fast enough. Okay, so that's it for today. Update on Palantir. Please hit the like button below and subscribe to this channel if you to see numbers-based valuation of Palantir and other tech companies. Thanks, guys.